Well, thank you so much for meeting with us today on Open Cockpit Day.
It's my pleasure to be here today.
So you actually flew this plane, or fought in World War II.
Did I fly in this? I flew 214 combat missions
Wow.
in the B-52.
That is impressive.
The D and the G models, two different models. The G model, the gunner rides up front. The A, B, C, D, E, and F, we rode in the tail on that, and flew all my B-52 time. I retired with 4,600 hours.
What was the difference how they flew, where you were in the front and you were in the back?
In the back, the gunner was in charge of the hot air and the cold air. And that was the major difference in the flight. Plus, I had a canopy right here like so, and as you can see on the airplane, had the canopy so I could look out, spot trouble with the engines, spot trouble with whatever's going on externally. And up front, I had a little television set that never worked, and they did away with it. That was in the G model. The H model, I had a pretty good radar. I flew in that 4 years up at Kinchlow Air Force Base before going to Mather, back to the Gs and retiring. After 24 years in the Air Force, I had 21 years in the Air Force, 24 years in the Air Force, and retired. Went to work for Lockheed for 19 years after that.
And do you know, by chance, how long this has been at Castle Air Museum?
No, I don't. It's been at Castle Museum for 20 years or more.
What year was this one put out, this particular model?
I do not know. Oh, what year? This is an F model.
What year was that approximately?
The F models come online probably about 1956, 8, somewhere in there. I don't know.
And this is a newer one, right? Because you were in the back. This was the older one.
The B-52H model is your newest one.
That's the newest one, and that's the one where you're in the front.
No, we're up the gunner. They don't today. After 1960, they don't have gunners.
Yeah, so that's really impressive. What was it like when you tell people that when you were flying in other ones to explain how it was in the back and all of that?
Yes, I know the back real well. I mean, it was a good flight. The gunners, we were well represented by Lieutenant Colonel Osborn, that you haven't interviewed yet, was my aircraft commander on the B-52Ds flying combat missions out of Fairchild in 1970? 70, 71, 72. And just to give you a tie for the family, my wife and I were stationed at Fairchild, okay, and for 4 years she was up there. I was home. I was gone. I can't tell you how. I was gone 27 months of the 4 years flying in B-52s, combat missions out of the various bases.
Wow.
And she's a tough lady.
She must be.
She is.
Well, thank you so much for meeting with us today.
My pleasure. I enjoyed coming out
and
here.
Thank you for your service and all you've done. This is really impressive.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you for talking with us for a few minutes. What can you tell us about the B-52 aircraft?
What would you like to know?
What was your experience with it?
Okay, I flew 100 missions in Vietnam, and this is a particular type of aircraft. I flew in B-52s for about 17 years, and it's a very reliable aircraft. What else would you like to know?
How have you noticed how they changed over time, the difference, the progression of the B-52s?
Okay, I flew in the very first model, the B-52B, and I ended up in the B-52Hs. So
wow.
There was quite a difference.
That is.
In all different aircraft.
So what were some of the differences?
Oh, well, the B-52B was very, my job was electronic warfare. I had to manually jam enemy signals and manually tune to see the signals and so forth. In the H model, the latest model, everything was in front of me with a base scope. Some of the jammers were automatic. I just turned them on. If they had a signal, the jammer would come on by itself. So there was quite a bit of difference between the two models.
And how long, do you know how long this craft has been at Castle Air Museum? I know it's like one of the originals.
Yeah, well, it's a D model, yeah. I don't know how long it's been here, to be truthful with you.
You know how old this one is? It was somebody said about 56.
Oh yeah, probably, yeah.
Probably that sounds about right. Well, thank you so much for speaking with us today, and thank you for all that you've done. You've really done a great service this country.
You're welcome. Thank you.